I'm Walt Spangler. We're here at the St. James Theater, 44th Street in New York City, and we're here to look today at the set for Desire Under the Elms. Well, here we are loading in, and you can see there's a ton of people on the stage. We're right in the middle of trying to get the house, which is a big part of the show, lifted off the ground. And everybody's kind of expectantly waiting for that first moment of liftoff when the house goes, because the house is like 9 tons, I'm told. And so a lot of preparation goes into making sure that it's absolutely safe. The director, Robert Falls, and I, when we first started talking, it's obviously called Desire Under the Elms. So in a way, the last thing we wanted to do is have it be about putting artificial elm trees on the stage. He wanted to do something that was inspired by Eugene O'Neill's earlier work, which is lesser known and not like his later classics, the ones that get done all the time. And when Eugene O'Neill was younger, I think it's safe to say that he was a little bit more daring and adventurous, and there's things about it that are more poetic and theatrical, and we really wanted to go in that direction. There's actually a sketch which Eugene O'Neill had done. He did write a very detailed description of the elms, and I mean it's actually kind of a lurid description where he sort of likens the elms hanging down on the house to maternal breasts. But they chose at the time to really put the whole show into a house, so that the kitchen scenes were in the kitchen, and then the house would open up over here and you'd have the bedroom. And we just felt like that was a little bit too confining for the modern audience, because also Bob wanted to make sure that he was in control of the pace. A lot of people have been saying, wow, where are the elms? But to me, the elms absolutely are there. There's a beautiful moment in the show where Abby and Eben are lying on the ground looking up at the sky, and they acknowledge the elms. And in that moment, I just think it's such a beautiful poetic moment, because to me it's like the elms then are over the whole audience. And in a way, it's that Abby and Eben are the only ones who really see the elms, and it's because of the passion that they're feeling for each other. I mean, that's the title. And so I think if we had realistic elms that everyone could see, somehow the poetry of that moment would be a little bit diminished. Well, this is the model for Desire Under the Elms, and what you see inside is absolutely based on this. Each of the rocks that we're going to see is carved specifically from each one of these rocks, so it's very exact. When I first turned in the model, the guys thought that we were dealing with kind of normal size, like basketball size rocks, and really some of these rocks are as big as a car. They get mentioned a lot in the story, the stones, and the guys live on a farm in New England in the 1800s where, in order to make the land at all prosperous, they just had all this labor that they had to put into moving the stones, clearing them out of the land, just so that they could have, a place to live, a place to garden. And we just sort of took that literal idea and kind of blew it up. First, we filled the model with just as many stones as we thought we could possibly get into the space, so we could really capture the idea that there's just absolutely no room unless we can move these. And we thought, well, if these stones are so huge, how would you move the stones? And so then I took one and put a big rope around it and, hoisted the stone up. And that idea kind of multiplied into there being as if they had run out of space on the ground, and now they're hoisting the stones up into the air. And they're just kind of these images of these heavy stones hanging over them. Also kind of relating back to the idea of the elms, just sort of compositionally, I felt like O'Neill had something in mind that there was a kind of hovering over the action that's taking place. When I was growing up, I did really work on the farm, and I hated it. It was so hot, first of all, in the South, and it was just so miserable. Like, your clothes would get so sweaty and grimy that they're just sticking to you. And that's what I wanted the basic surround for the space to feel like. And so I started actually with a clear surround. You can see it in the model. It's made out of a piece of plexiglass, and we just sprayed it with salt and with water and with dirt and with spray paint and things like that, and got what you see as this very kind of transparent, almost sort of underwater feeling surround. As you can see, as you look around the rest of the theater, everything is completely covered in plastic to keep everything from getting dusty. And tomorrow we're going to be bringing in the boulders that are part of the show, and there's over 200 of them. So the first thing we're going to do is probably cover every single seat in the theater with a boulder, and they've all been labeled and carefully numbered from Chicago, and then we're going to reassemble them all into this sort of quarry that's on stage. And then by opening night, all the plastic goes away and everything will be vacuumed and no one will ever know that this chaos was in here. So we're still working hard here at the St. James Theater. Desire Under the Elms, first performance is April 14th. Come and see it.